Welcome back to Digital Mysteries. Tonight, we open a closed file that holds the key to the blurred line between genius and criminal. This isn't just a story about a hacker. It's a chilling look at how the systems built to protect us can become the very weapon used against the innocent. The clock reads 4:47 a.m. aboard the International Space Station. Commander William Shepard checks the environmental readings, and then he freezes. Temperature controls offline. Humidity systems failing. Life support critical errors. 250 miles below. In a messy bedroom in Florida, a 5-year-old boy named Jonathan James hits enter. He's downloaded $1.7 million worth of NASA's most classified, life-sustaining software. This isn't science fiction. This actually happened. One curious kid, one computer, one night that exposed a terrifying truth. The most powerful military in human history was completely defenseless against a bored teenager. But here's the terrifying part of the mystery. Jonathan James wasn't trying to hurt anyone. He was just bored. In 3 short years, this boy would infiltrate NASA, hack the Pentagon, and expose security flaws that could have crippled America's national defense, all while doing homework and playing video games. The FBI called him the most dangerous juvenile cybercriminal in American history. His victims called him a security nightmare. Jonathan called it education. Born in 1989, he was a digital savant. While other first graders were learning to tie their shoes, he was learning to break the digital locks his parents thought were secure. His father installed parental controls to limit computer time. Jonathan bypassed them in an afternoon. It was the first sign of trouble. By age 10, he was reading Unix operating manuals and network protocol documentation that college students struggled with. The arguments escalated until his parents confiscated his machine. He ran away. They gave it back. They were raising a force they didn't understand. A force that was about to find its ultimate target. Summer 1999. Jonathan James, age 15, sitting in the dark with 3 monitors glowing. He wasn't hunting for cash. He was hunting for respect. In the underground community, reputation came from technical skill demonstrated against impossible targets. His handle was Comrade. He was an invisible intruder. He didn't smash through digital walls. He simply found unlocked windows. On the 23rd of August, 1999, Jonathan navigated through servers he wasn't supposed to access. He found a seemingly ordinary IP address. He had no idea he was about to break into the Pentagon. From his cluttered Florida bedroom, Jonathan found what physical security could not protect against: lazy password policies. He intercepted over 3,000 sensitive messages and gained access to classified defense information. But his true endgame was NASA. He downloaded the life support code. He saw $1.7 million of classified software. NASA saw a complete shutdown and a minimum of 3 weeks to audit every line of code. January 26, 2000. 7:23 a.m. Honey, there are men at the door. They say they're from the FBI. Jonathan walked to the front door in his pajamas and came face to face with an entire federal task force. They seized everything. During interrogation, he confessed immediately. He treated the investigation like a technical debriefing, explaining his methods and what they needed to fix. The investigators expected a master criminal. They found a kid who thought he was conducting educational research. In September 2001, 6-year-old Jonathan James became the first juvenile in U.S. history to be sentenced for cybercrime. The ban on computer use was devastating. 6 months later, a minor probation violation sent him to a federal juvenile detention facility. Prison changed him. The curious boy who once explained Linux with enthusiasm became withdrawn and suspicious. His ordeal was far from over. 8 years later, his past returned, not to haunt him, but to destroy him. It was 2008. The country was reeling from the largest data breach in corporate history, the TJX breach. Over 45 million customer records compromised. The FBI was hunting a sophisticated hacking conspiracy. Inside seized encrypted chat logs, agents found references to a collaborator, JJ. JJ handled the Office Max job. JJ knows the old school methods. Database search. JJ plus hacking background equals match found. Jonathan Joseph James. Holy expletive. Comrade. They built a case. The timeline fits. Motive, means, and opportunity. But here is where the deeper mystery lies, where the shadows of a cyber conspiracy begin to form. The real mastermind was Albert Gonzalez, who was secretly a Secret Service informant while conducting the largest data theft in American history. The evidence against James was too perfect. The real JJ was likely his associate, Stephen Watt, but the prosecutors needed convictions. Jonathan's history made him the perfect sacrifice. Jonathan James understood the game. The justice system preferred convenient convictions over inconvenient truths. He knew he was going to prison regardless of his innocence. Jonathan had spent his entire short life refusing to accept systems he couldn't control. He was determined to take back his narrative. May 18, 2008. In his final letter, he wrote, "I have no faith in the justice system. I have lost control over this situation, and this is my only way to regain control. I die free." He performed his final hack, not into a computer system, but into the basic assumption that justice would prevail. He pulled the trigger. He was 24. He had never been charged, tried, or convicted in the TJX case. He died purely from the fear of being railroaded. This tragedy gives us crucial lessons in fighting and preventing cybercrime. We must focus on the unsolved cases and the actual perpetrators, not just the convenient scapegoats. We must prioritize prevention by addressing the human element and adopt responsible disclosure programs to welcome, not persecute, the technical minds who find our system's weaknesses. The file on Jonathan James is closed. The boy who could have been one of America's greatest cybersecurity defenders was lost to a flawed system. But the question remains, how many potential cyber defenders do we lose, and how many new cyber conspiracy cases do we invite when we fail to recognize genius and choose fear over truth? This is Digital Mysteries, signing off.